All right. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with a new video. And my voice is back. Thank God my voice is back. Please make sure you start this video off by clicking that thumbs up button. And if you are a first time watcher to the Scorpion Show, I hope that you click the subscribe button. I know, we've been going with the videos and everything, but we had been planning for the Scorpion Show barbecue, which was this past Saturday, and this was our 4th Scorpion Show barbecue. And let me just say, I don't even need the subscribers that came to say they had a blast. I had a blast. I had so much.
This is how much of a blast I had.
Bitch, you farting, bitch, don't do it. No. And Jeremy done cleaned my room, so I don't, well, he did clean it. I don't know where. Okay. Where? I don't know where my air freshener is. I pray I can't smell.
It's not going to stink.
Yeah, it was just a teeny one, but those silent ones be deadly sometimes. But yeah, it was just a great time. Like, it was, oh my God. It was just amazing. It was amazing. We had fun.
It started off slow.
Yeah,
because of the heat.
Slow. Very slow.
The heat really, it was hot on Saturday.
Yes, it was.
And a lot of people was like, bitch, we ain't coming out there in that heat. But once that sun started to go down, and this block started to fill up,
people came from everywhere.
People was like, bitch, we see there's a party right there.
Okay.
And so we're going to have a good old time. So yeah, shout out to everybody who came. DC showed up and showed out.
Okay.
A
lot of them.
Every time I
DC,
Maryland,
Virginia.
Sick. I said, I know that's right, DMV.
Somebody gave me a good idea. They said that y'all need to do something in that area. Like, y'all need to go there. Because y'all really...
Well, I said that before that we should, you know. But DC, New York, it was a lot of people, you know, from all over who came. And it was
DC,
like,
New York, Jersey. Shout out to Ashley from Chicago. She came. Y'all know my blackout partner. She came. Nunu, my blackout partner. He came and he brought some drinks that he didn't give me none of, but that's fine.
And he stayed the whole time and had himself a good time.
Yes, he did. And Cleavon Timms, he finally came to an event from Houston, Texas. I was like, oh, so I guess Mikkel got to be there for you to show up. You know, but I'm glad he came. He finally came. He came to something. and our girls from London came. I never can't remember her name, but she came again and she brought her sister, and I met them when I was in London. And speaking of that, I need to go back there. I want to go next spring. They came. It was just
all the way from London.
All the way from London. And the two girls, the mother and the daughter who came from, they from Philly. They came to our fish fry that we had back in January. So I instantly remembered them. And they was at a point where they was like, yeah, so we gonna get ready to leave. and I was like, oh, no, y'all not. And I asked them why. And he told me why. And I was like, so I grabbed that microphone.
Well, you stay honest.
Yes. I cut that microphone on and said, play that. And baby, we had a good time in front of my house. And they stayed even longer. Yes. Thank God. Because I just like, no. I got to make sure people not leaving like, you know, bitch, I ain't like such and such. No. You got a problem?
Just everybody had a good time.
Yes. But I was nervous at first. Because I was like,
you get like you wasn't talking too much.
Baby,
everybody had a great time. There was no fuck. Okay. Sometimes you got to stop in mid-sentence. Good time.
No.
There was no fighting. There wasn't. First of all, we don't have those kind of parties. We don't.
Not this shit. And
well, no.
Anyway, don't do it. But yes, okay, it was
That's
just.
what we be saying to you.
Don't start nothing now. Okay, it was just it was just fun. And shout out to my girl. Wait, I gotta give a shout out to Danita Chantel because she always supports us, and I know like she be doing her interview thing, like she's in the media and everything. And I just like it would be great if you could come to our barbecue and interview, you know, our subscribers and stuff like that. Yes, she did. She came and went to work.
First of all, she had her cameraman with her.
Yes.
And they were off to the side. The first time I turned to myself, at first I didn't realize that it was her. I just saw the cameraman. So I'm like, well, why the hell was the news here? Like, we only celebrating 8 years. Why they here? And then I looked and saw her with the microphone. I said, oh, you know, baby, every time I turned around, she had and people were excited to go talk to her. They was like, okay. So she did her thing.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
She was like, because she came like around 4:30. She's like, Kevin, you know, you don't have to sit with. I was like, well, you know, I just want to sit with the new people and stuff. Like, these were people that came for the first time. She's like, I know it's hot and everything. If you want to go in the house, you can go chill for a second. I was like, no. I'm out here now. At this point, I had took 2 showers on Saturday. It was just really that
it was that
hot. It was hot as hell.
It took a while for a lot of people to come out to the block party.
Even this one was late. But, you know, he got here.
Because I don't live nowhere near here. So I can't just jump in the shower. So I was in my car for a very long time in the air.
Yeah. But
before I got out, I was like, baby, it's hot out there.
But one thing I can say is that this was one of the smoothest transitions ever for a Scorpion Show barbecue. Because, you know, when you be doing these things previously, when you've been doing them for years, like, you know, this is how it is. And we knew exactly what we needed to do. We made that shit work. And it was just, it was just everything. And even my nephew, first shout out to China and Johnny. They were the bartenders for the event.
Did a great job.
Yes.
They had that bar popping.
They did. They made me a Ciroc apple and pineapple with some cranberry. And I mean, that was my drink. I think I have to make that a signature. But I will need a Ciroc sponsor in the future. That drink was so good. That was the best drink I had that day. Because everything else I was making on my own. But that was the best drink.
I think that was the one China made.
China made me one and Johnny made me one. It was just good. It was good. And then something that happened was, you know, like while we doing interviews and then we just having fun, dancing, taking pictures, my nephew took the microphone and got the DJ to play his music. And my nephew had that shit popping. And I was just so proud of my nephew. I was really happy for him because I don't want to talk bad. I just want to say sometimes people think that you're supposed to do things for them. And I say, no, you have to make things happen on your own. Now that Saturday, he ain't asked me, can I play my music, can I perform? Because we wasn't having no fucking performance. But my nephew took an initiative. And that made me so happy to see him do that. You know, you don't always need, you just don't always need people to do stuff for you all the time. Sometimes you got to do it for yourself. Make it happen for yourself. And he just made me so proud. And everybody loved his music. And, you know, people was writing me on Facebook saying that they loved it. So, I don't know my nephew's SoundCloud, but it will definitely be inside the more info box so y'all can check out Rich Music. Not get emotional. So let's go to the next topic. Thank you to everyone who came. Thank you to everyone who donated to our barbecue. Okay, you didn't have to, but you did. Thank you. And
shout out to our girlfriend Tawanda.
Yes,
because she donated as well.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to Tawanda. We just love Tawanda. I love Tawanda. I talk to Tawanda almost not every day, but like at least 2 or 3 times a week. That's my girlfriend.
See, y'all gotta love her. Nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing.
I love her. And she loves me. And we're just the
She loves Mikhail. Let me stop.
No, she loves Kevin too. But you remember when, you know, when Tamar was around, him and Tamar were really close.
Yes.
You know, Tamar and I would talk too, but him and Tamar were really close.
Yes.
But
yeah, and let's since we got it out in the open, let's make that the first time with Tamar and Vince. Okay. Now let me tell y'all something. I don't know what went on.
No.
I don't know none of that stuff. But I will say this. I am not a fan of domestic violence, and you guys know that. And if anybody is in that situation, I say get the fuck out of it. I've seen it in my own home. Not with my mother, but I've seen it in my own home. And at that time, I was young, so there's nothing I could do. But I tell you this now, when it comes to my nieces, when it comes to my sisters, when it comes to any female in my family, I don't play that shit. Domestic violence is not fine, because if he hits you, he'll do it again. And sometimes it don't just end with him beating your ass. sometimes it ends with you being dead. And then, you know, your family at your funeral, and we all got to wonder, like, well, what is it that we could have done to prevent this? Now, I know that some women go back, but I don't encourage going back to that situation. I would say leave. And if you are afraid to leave, get help. Now, last night, people thought I was being shady when I posted that domestic violence number. No, I'm being serious. I don't play with stuff like that, okay? That's not nothing I want to play with and joke about and throw shade on. I don't play those games, okay? So if you really are in that situation, you can get out of that situation. So that's why I posted that. But if Tamar and Vince is up there fighting the shit, she knows she need to get the fuck out of that. That's with any woman. You need to go before it really ends deadly.
Well, I'll say this, or I will pose this question. Does she know that she needs to go? Because if this is true, the situation with her and Vince, if this is true, this is not the first time she's walked down this slippery slope. She had a previous relationship where
it was bad.
It was bad.
I've had conversations with this woman, you know, about stuff like that.
So I would hope that, you know, someone around her would talk to her, if it's true, and say, listen, baby girl. And if they are talking to her, I would hope that she would be receptive of what they're saying. Because we know Tamar can be a little stubborn. Now, of course, TMZ caught up with Tamar and Vince at an airport, walking hand in hand together. So I guess everything is fine.
But you notice that every time a big story come out, you always see them in pictures and stuff like, it's fine, nothing happened.
Well, that's with a lot of people. I mean, that's just with, and that's not just with Tamar and Vince. I think it's with a lot of celebrities. Because they want the public to see or to think that everything's okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what they want. Whether it is okay or whether it isn't okay. It's just not with Tamar and Vince. You know what I mean? It's with a lot of celebrities. But it's called damage control. You know? You had this story that broke out yesterday or the day before yesterday, whatever day it was, that allegedly Tamar had to call the police on her husband down in Atlanta because they had gotten into an argument that turned physical, and she had to call the police to the hotel. And of course, you know, when you're in a public place like a hotel, there are eyes and ears. So the minute folks in there realize who called the police and why the police were called, that's when they start hitting up this blogger and that blogger and this news outlet. So it's like, I mean, I wasn't there, but I highly doubt that someone would make up a story on Vince and Tamar like this. Yeah, I mean, why would you do that? Like, why would you make this kind of story up? And this is like not the first time this particular kind of story has come out.
Yeah, we heard stuff like that in the past and everything.
Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, y'all knew them. Did you see anything? I never saw anything. I never saw a thing. And
from what I remember, like,
I just hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just remember them being a couple, a loving couple, but also a hard-working couple. And Vince was that husband, but then he was also that manager. And so you knew when he put that manager hat on. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Vince Herbert, the husband, and then Vince Herbert, the manager. And so they were two totally different people. I can honestly say that I saw two totally different people in one person. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that Vince knew, listen, in order for you to be the star that you want to be, like your idol Mariah Carey or like whoever it is that you aspire to be, you got to stop playing and start working. That's what I saw. I ain't never seen no domestic violence. I ain't never seen none of that. I never saw any of that. Never saw any of that. Did I see them go back and forth? Yeah, I did. Because they were married. Let me tell
Go ahead. Get
out. Hell yeah, I saw them go back and forth. Hell yeah. But them going back and forth was no different from seeing my mom and dad go back and forth. That's what married couples do. They go back and forth, okay? So seeing them go back and forth, a lot of times they go back and forth in front of us. Because we were family. And you know, we'd be sitting there on the phone or just watching them go back and forth. But that was because, you know, so I never even thought while they were going back and forth that he was going to go. And I'm not making light of that, but I'm just saying I never saw that. Never saw that. So yeah, so if anybody's out there wondering, did y'all ever see anything? The answer is no.
And from what I remember, like I was with Tamar. If y'all remember, I was staying with Tamar when she was in New York and Vince was in the hospital. Like I was staying at their apartment, and like she was working, like she was doing everything that she could to like make Vince comfortable and everything. And we've been around them at separate times, and they talk about each other like you wouldn't think that a domestic violence thing would be going on. Is they would talk about each other, the love that they have for each other. I remember having a private conversation with Vince, like when Tamar's Love and War came out. He was so happy. You know, like how a big kid would be excited. That's how he was, and just the reception of everybody loving it. Like he was so happy. You know, so that's what I remember. I don't know anything about a domestic violence thing, but if this is true, you got to go, cause I ain't with that. I'm just not with none of that. Okay, so that's all we're gonna say on the situation. Domestic violence is never okay. It's never fun. You don't poke fun. You don't laugh, and like you don't do none of that stuff. So we're going to move on from that situation to Ryan Lochte. Let me say that Ryan Lochte, he really ruined the whole fun of the 2016 Rio Olympic Games for me. It was no fun watching. I just stopped watching it because he became the story. It wasn't even about Michael Phelps winning 6 gold medals, if it was that, probably 5 or 6. You know, it wasn't about that anymore. It wasn't about Simone Biles anymore or Gabby Douglas. It was about Ryan Lochte saying that he got robbed, then he didn't get robbed. And then he got on NBC with Matt Lauer and said he was robbed. And then next week, the Brazilian government was like, oh, hell no. Get them two off the plane, because Ryan Lochte had already left. We know something ain't right with this story, and y'all not telling the truth. And then we found out through one of the sheriffs, that's a Brazilian sheriff, he was explaining everything that happened with Ryan Lochte and the history of the swim mates. I don't know their names, but they were in there like tearing up the store, peeing in there, being disruptive, just fucking things up. And they was like, you're not leaving until you pay for this. You're gonna pay to get this fixed. So they did point a gun at him, but it wasn't no robbery. See, that's what happens when you can just make a story up. But he didn't say anything that he did. White privilege, yes. And he just lied. He lied. And he lied to his mom. He just lied to everybody, and everybody's just looking at him like, why would you even make up something like this? And like he's done like sporadic interviews, kept saying like, I over exaggerate. No, bitch, you didn't over exaggerate it. You lied. Because you lied, bitch. You lied. Ain't no other way over it. See, you have to be a man and say what you did wrong when you're doing wrong, when you're in the public eye. There's no way none of our black NBA athletes or any other black athlete can get away with something like this. Say over-exaggerated.
They ridiculed the hell out of Gabby Douglas for not putting her hand over her heart.
Yeah, not her hand over her heart, because she looked like she wasn't supportive. Like, they were just coming at her on everything. And now, you got Ryan Lochte fucking up, and you ain't really seen nobody complain. Only person I seen complain on TV was Al fucking Roker.
And then Billy Bush sat next to him and tried to defend Ryan like, no. Like, what? First of all, he was trying to defend him like he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like he was a kid. No, he's a grown man that lied. Okay? Point blank, period. He lied. He's a lot.
Wait, did you see Al Roker go off on him? Because he was not here.
Al Roker was not anything but the weather. He said, fuck that weather today. We can talk about water. And how it is this man lied. He lied.
Baby.
He did. He lied.
He was like one of them fathers like, no.
Yes, and he said it like this at Bush. Like, wait, what? Like the way he was looking at him like, I can't believe you're defending this. I think he wanted to say so bad, wait, are you dead fucking serious? He had to remember he was on TV.
Oh, fucking Rokers.
Al fucking Rokers. You did that. Billy fucking Bushes. With an S.
Oh.
Okay? He really tried that.
Woo! Yes, he did.
And Billy Bush do look like he could be related to the Bushes.
He is. He's George Bush's nephew.
No, he's not related
He's
to
the
them.
cousin. Yes, he is. He's really related. He's related to Bill.
He might be. You might be right.
No,
because he looks like he
don't
could
make
be.
it no secret. He's related to him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's either the nephew or a cousin.
He might be
one
a
of them.
cousin because he ain't no nephew.
He don't play no games. But he's new at the Today Show now. But
Yeah, because he was on Access Hollywood.
Yes, he's been on a couple of different shows. But go ahead, Billy Bush, make it work.
Oh, you're right.
I told you. He's a cousin.
He's George Bush's cousin. The older Bush is his uncle, so Billy Bush must be the grandson of one of the older Bush's brothers or sisters.
Yeah. So just Billy, be careful what you say around.
I don't know what that first cousin once removed. What does that mean?
First cousin once removed is you share the same great grandfather, but you're from a different. I believe it's from a different generation. Same grandfather, different generation, or same great grandfather but different generation, something like that. So his father is first cousins with his brother or sister's child, once removed.
What?
You don't get it?
No.
Let's say
his father is cousins with who?
Listen. Let's say Charles have a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charles' baby and Tibby would be first cousins. Now, if one of them have a child, Charles would be that child's first cousin once removed.
If
Tibby had a baby,
mm-hmm.
Charles had a baby,
mm-hmm.
the baby and the Charles baby and Tibby's baby. Tibby would be first cousins, but when Tibby had a child, that would be the first cousin once removed because they share the same grandmother or the same great grandmother.
What?
Listen, I'm done explaining it.
What?
It's the first cousin but a different generation because you are a child of someone from a different generation.
What? I think you're explaining that wrong.
Bitch, Google it. What is the first cousin once removed?
But anyway, Billy Bush's father is the younger brother to George H.W. Bush.
Maybe I can show you this, man. I got to turn that air up because it's getting hot. Ancestry, DNA.
I don't.
And by the way, thank you to everyone who signed up for Ancestry DNA because 21 people used my link to sign up for Ancestry DNA. Mm-hmm. Now, when you do your videos, make sure you put that link because everyone that signs up or buys an Ancestry DNA kit, you get $10 for each kit. So you can imagine how much I made if I got 21 and I got $10 for each one. Thank you to all those who...
Oh, you can make money off of that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm tired. No, I can't be tired. We got finished recording.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna I think it's...
We'll finish that.
Yeah, we'll get to... and if I explained it wrong, you know somebody out there, a genealogist, will get it together for us. Donald Trump wants the black vote. Now, I sat here on Friday afternoon, and I watched Donald... It's going to get a little loud. I watched Donald Trump make a fucking fool of himself.
I gotta find out what's the matter with you.
What?
With this sweat.
Because it's hot.
No, it's
hot.
not. I'm hot. Look how dry I am.
I'm hot.
You're always hot. I'm gonna find out what it is. I have to find out. I just watched you get up and turn this air on, and it's as cool as can be in this room.
It's not. It's not cool enough for me.
I see. Your head is sweating crazy.
Because I'm hot. So
you could never lay up in my bed. Oh,
that's fine.
You probably get so sweaty.
No, I don't sweat when I sleep.
I ain't
but I would never let you. So
it's okay. You ain't never gotta worry about being in my bed.
You don't ever gotta worry about being in my bed.
And trust me, that's a threat. The two of us
but trust. Anyway, you Donald fucking Trump. That's how you move on. Okay. Donald Trump. So on Friday, I was waiting for my sister to come get me. I watched Donald Trump give a campaign speech to people, and he was saying
to white people.
About black people, about how he wanted the black vote,
and how the audience is full of white people.
He reminded me of that guy that was like, you look dusty and your hair is uneven. Like, how can you be open to receiving feedback from someone that come at you like that? And then there's the other guy that be like, you're sitting home, you're doing nothing, you might have to come and join us anyway and sign up for school. I mean, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he was like, you don't have good schools, you don't have jobs, you're not doing anything. What the hell do you have to lose? Donald Trump. That is not the way to get the black vote. To get the black vote, even though we're not going to vote for you, would have been like you coming to the Scorpion Show barbecue on Saturday. You had to go into the black neighborhoods and knock on doors. And you can't come to Northfield. Donald Trump, no. That they would, you think they set it off in Chicago?
They would look at him like he was crazy walking through Northfield.
Yes, Donald Trump. That is just not the way to go. So now Donald Trump got rid of his couple of people. He hired some new people and everything. And now that he's seeing that he's polling like less than 1% or 1% of the black vote,
1%.
He's doing worse than Mitt Romney and John McCain. Now he's like, oh, I want to go after the black vote. No. You're watching these shows. I really believe that Donald Trump is watching these shows and he's seeing what people are saying about him, and that's how he makes his decisions.
Of course, that's what it is. But he's already said that.
But I didn't believe him. But
why not?
He really is sitting there
watching the show. You already said I watch the shows to get my what did he say?
I watch the shows to get my about the strategy. That's
what's going on in the world. Basically, I'm watching what the people say on the shows to figure out what it is. What are you talking about? Like Donald.
You're not going to get it that way. And I mean, oh my God. Like, and then shout out to the Janice Armstrong of the Philadelphia Daily News, because she is the person that put us on the cover of the Daily News the first time. I think we were only on there one time a couple years back. But she happened to do an interview with someone we know, Celine. And he is one of the 1% voters that is voting for Donald Trump. And at first I was just like, bitch, this is a publicity stuff. And then she was like, no, Kevin, it's not a publicity stunt. Read the article. So I go to Philly.com and I read the article. And he was saying that he is voting for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a successful businessman and Donald Trump will get black people jobs because he's seen in his neighborhood that people in his neighborhood, they stand on the corner and they're not working. If you see them standing on the corner, most of the time they're drug dealers. Second, they don't want to work. Okay?
Want to work.
At all. Now, if you think Donald Trump, the first thing Donald Trump going to do is when he get in the office is help black people get a job, you out your fucking mind. He's going to be worrying about building a wall and who's going to pay for it.
And can I just say something real quick? Because I can see it already. People leaving comments saying to you, well, Kevin, how do you know those people don't want to work? They're staying out. We know this because we know a few people who
be outside
personally, and they've told us personally that I don't want to work for who? The white man.
And I can't believe it. And I get mad every time I hear that.
And instead of, okay, you don't want to work for the white man, then find what it is that you know how to do and work for your damn self so you don't have to work for the white man. And you know what they do? They still don't want to do it. They just want to get high all day and sell drugs. Okay? So before anybody try to come at Kevin and say, well, Kevin, how you know? Because they might just be people who just lost their jobs. No. There are many people who just don't want to work. They would rather stand in the corner all day and sell fucking drugs or rob people.
Or just sit outside.
Or just sit outside.
It's horrible. Like,
I have witnessed with my own two ears and my own two eyes, people say to me, or not even people, one person in particular say to me, I like being at home all day. Man, I feel sorry for y'all that gotta go to work every day because it's cool for me. Well, what the fuck are you doing all damn day while everybody else is the hell at work? Sleeping, the white shitting and playing with your dick.
Yeah. And let me tell y'all.
What else is he doing?
Bad. So I'm just like,
it's big.
I said that's wrong. Not what you're saying. But Celine was just saying like, what he was saying to me, I think it was foolish, and it didn't make enough sense on why he should vote for Donald Trump. But you know what, though, Celine, you be a part of that 1%. You just be a part of that 1%. You stay on the sideline. Cause you ain't.
I really would like for Salim to come on our show.
Yeah, he can come on the show,
and he's been wanting to come on. And I think, because he has his own clothing line,
yes,
which is very successful for him.
But that's what I thought it was in order to promote. Cause I mean, she did slide that in there. He's the owner of this and that.
You think that that's not what that's all about?
Yeah.
Salim, I like you, and me and you always talk when we run into each other. But you cannot tell me that you.
And you think that McCallum's a Beyonce fan? Oh,
yeah,
my God!
Yeah, he's really a big.
He is like a bitch.
Yes.
I think he's worse than you.
Yeah. But Celine, again, you cannot pull the wool over my eyes. That whole 1%, that whole I'm voting for Donald Trump thing, baby. And you're doing that for publicity, you're doing that as a stunt, and you're doing that to promote your clothing line. And if that's what you're doing, by all means, make that money. Because if I knew how to do what you did, and not worry about having some dignity after that, I'd do it the hell too. But baby, you cannot tell me that you honestly believe that Donald Trump is going to help the black man when he does a speech or whatever the hell he called it for blacks, on blacks, with not one black.
And not going into the communities, he's going into the suburbs. That's like, okay, you're supposed to come to Philly.
He's contradicting himself.
You going to Willow Grove?
Yeah. Those blacks up in Willow Grove, they got jobs, nice houses, nice cars. You gotta come down here. 22nd verse.
Hold one rally at the project.
At the King.
Go to 23rd and down.
Go to Raymond.
Yeah, go to Raymond. Go to Richard Allen. Go to Westfield.
No, they did Richard Allen though, kind of nice.
Yeah, but still, no, I ain't gonna do that. You know, Donald, that's how you get the black vote.
Go to that project behind my church.
I don't know what Omarosa is doing because you're polling less than 1%. And Omarosa, you could be doing much better than that.
But you look at her. Anybody gonna pay attention to her?
She's just collecting a Trump check.
She's collecting a Trump check.
Trump.
He was better off getting Nene. At least the blacks know and like her.
I don't know, but she don't want that.
No, she don't want that.
She went in.
But she will be blackballed by the blacks.
And she went in on Donald Trump.
And you know what's so funny? Because interesting enough, and like I said, I like Celine. You know, he's a really nice guy. I've never had a problem with him. But I was noticing that there were a lot of people on social media that I saw who, and I even screenshotted a few of them, that were just like, oh, I'm not wearing Bernardo no more. Yeah.
Yeah, because Donald Trump has said a lot of stuff
about blacks and Hispanics. And you can't say that you're going to support somebody who's a right now bigot and think that people going to still support you.
Did you see Charles Bell on Down Living?
He got that guy together. He said, who is this guy and why is he on TV?
Yeah, and I don't know you, so you don't ask me that.
He said, you don't ask me no questions because I don't know who you are. Charles Blow.
That is a nasty old black gay man.
He is a nasty queen. And I live for him. Because I feel like, watching him, I felt like I'm the young version of Charles Blow. When he told that man, he told Don Lemon, who is this man and why is he on TV? I said, yes! And then I stopped and said, why is that man on TV? Why is he on TV?
Yes.
And who is he? Because he holds no position in Trump's campaign. He's just a Trump supporter, but yet they always call on him.
Especially Katrina Pearson making shit up.
Yes.
It's this new lady.
They always call him the same blacks.
Yeah.
That light-skinned guy, that's it.
and the pastor.
In the
sky.
past,
I think that's his
but
name.
he's just doing it to promote his church.
Yeah, but you know what? He was really good at the Republican movement. I will give him that. But if he preached a good word at church, I will go. But if he wants to sit there and say, "Well, I should vote for Trump," I will not support that. No, not at all. But he was like whatever night that was. I think it was a Wednesday night. He was the best speaker of that night, even better than Pence. I will give it to him, and he had a lot of reception.
Well, you saw what's his name? What's Pence's first name?
Mike Pence.
You saw him laugh when he did an interview.
Oh yeah, about
the black vote.
Because he can't believe it. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Listen,
he laughed.
Donald Trump is Sarah Palin and Mike Pence is John McCain. Yes. It's just in reverse roles.
Reverse fucking
He was like, he's Donald Trump. I mean,
he started laughing when they said, well, how do you feel about Donald Trump saying that by the end of the by the election, he's going to have what, 25% of the black,
no,
95%. 95% of black votes.
And
Donald Trump's own running mate started laughing. He's Donald Trump. What does that mean? Does that mean you agree or you don't agree?
But I will say this: we should, as Democrats, we should hold people
accountable.
Accountable. Black Democrats. We do need to hold everybody accountable,
yes.
and not
including Hillary Clinton.
That's right,
and the
not
Democrats,
think that they automatically
yes.
are going to get a vote for black people.
Right.
That
exactly.
is so true. That is so true.
But then, if we're going to hold Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and the Democratic Party accountable, then we all should hold President Obama accountable as well, because he's no different. Because at the end of the day, yes, he's a black man, he's a smart, intelligent black man, but he's still a what? Politician.
And you know something?
Just because he smiles nice and he has a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful daughters, and he's the first black man, he's still a politician.
And Obama, I know you ready to go, but
okay.
Yeah.
We can tell you ready to go because your daughter's letting us know.
He's like,
she's ready to go.
Yeah. And I heard they had court them, like they took a picture of them walking. He had a nice little private conversation like her name. You know, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure he paid for that time to do it. But I do want to say something else about holding people accountable. It's time for our city to start holding our new mayor accountable. Jim Kenney, what's going on with all of these murders, and you're not saying anything. Now I will say, John Street, he tried at the end of his term. Like it was like he was almost like, I'm going. But Mayor Nutter made an initiative to stop these murders, and murders went down in the city. And like towards the end, like it started to get bad, but he still didn't. He was still no nonsense about it. Now Jim Kenney, I don't know where you are. You already got the soda tax up. You got the cigarette tax up. It's time to get the murders down and not let that go up, and you just be silent about what's going on in our city. There's too much violence going on. And who's the commissioner? Richard Ross. You need to be saying something like, y'all all need to be stepping up patrols in the neighborhood. And something I always say, like when I sit outside, you don't see the police officers wave to nobody in the neighborhood. Like it's just they ride by or they'll slow down and they'll be looking at you and not doing anything. And it's like, we can fix that in our neighborhoods. Like we can fix the tension that's going on between police officers and the citizens of the city, if they are more open to speaking. Like, because I don't want to wave and they not wave back, they just ride by or nothing like that. But they need to come out in the community and introduce themselves. I do think that should happen. But Jim Kenney, I really need you to say something about these murders that's going on. And I'm going to tweet you like what's going on, because y'all being silent. Like these news reporters are tweeting about it, and then we got children getting shot in our city, and you haven't said a goddamn thing. I haven't heard anything. A 6-year-old got shot 10 times.
10
times. Survived. I think some of the bullets might have been fragments. You got parents accidentally shooting and killing their children, and you're not saying anything. You need to really open your mouth and say something. Or step the patrol up. Come on now, we done got you in here. You said what you was going to do, and I'm not saying anything except for you raising shit. Yeah, that's my little rant for that.
That's a well-deserved rant.
Yeah, and I'm going to be tweeting him.
Well, I'm tweeting. What's his Twitter name?
I think it's Mayor Kenney. Jim Kenney.
Tweet him.
Yeah.
And hell, I don't care if you ain't from Philly, you can tweet him too and ask him what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Because our murder rate is higher than what it was last year at the same time.
What is it?
I think it's Mayor Kenney. Philly Mayor or Mayor Kenney, one of them. Philly Mayor. Yep, that's him. Look, the last time he tweeted was 6 fucking days ago. So you know he ain't even probably gonna read the tweet. That's right, Philly Mayor. Let's get into that text message. Wait a minute.
Is this how you spell his name, or is it just N-N-Y?
That's the right way. Mayor Kenney. But make sure, yeah, K-E-N-N-E-Y. Countess Vaughn. Can I say, after listening to this song so many times and seeing so many people complain about it, I kind of like the song. The song is so horrible. It's so early 2000s. The video is horrible, but I can't stop watching it because all the silly faces she's making and the pointing and all of that. Countess, that video is terrible and you know it. I don't even need to get on camera and drag you. You need to really, if you really want to get back into this singing thing, you gotta take it as serious as you want us to take it. But if you want to be like this, it's gonna always be considered a joke. You were a woman that can sing. Like I love to hear you sing on the Parkers. I love to just like you see some old clips of you singing on Star Search and stuff like that. Like you were one of the actresses that we actually missed. So when you were on Hollywood Divas, you know I was happy to see you. But I don't like some of the stuff that you were. Like you loving chicken and eating food all the time. Like I think you fell into a stereotype on the show. And I happen to watch I binge watched 4 episodes of the new season. Like it's nothing new going on. Like these women are not really doing anything but fighting and anything. I do like some of what I seen with Malika and her really wanting to get her acting career together. But these girls are really doing nothing and they just bickering about shit. That's why I was only 6 episodes and you already got a reunion show. Like that's horrible.
Right.
I think they really need to take their acting careers seriously. Like let us see you going on a job hunt. Let's see you really working together instead of fighting. Hollywood Divas could have been a real show to help with even young black women that want to be actresses how to get into the game. And it just became, oh, let's fight and let's do this and let's do that. What I can say is that the difference between this and the R&B divas, they was not playing when it came about getting a check. They were in the studio, they were releasing songs, they released an album together. Like they really was doing their fucking shit, even though they had the drama amongst them. With these ladies, we don't see y'all do nothing but eat and fight and talk about who husband want who and all of that stuff. Like y'all are boring, and that's why I stopped watching. And Carlos King, you need to get it together with that show. Like you really, like you produce the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you're giving us this. Like, come on, you got to really pick it up. Nate Parker, this is not nothing that you could just sweep under the rug on what happened. And this happened back in 1999, where he met a girl. It started out with them having oral sex, and then later on that night, she met up with him. But before she met up with him, she had about maybe 4 or 5 drinks. She had a shot. Then they took a shot later on together, and it ended up with them having sex. And Nate Parker inviting his friends to join in, but only one joined in and one left. She wakes up to having sex, like when she really comes to, and she really don't know what happened, how many men she been with. She made up a lie to Nate Parker, and this was a recorded conversation with her saying that she was pregnant, and she was just trying to get more information out of him
to see
what he was saying.
What actually happened to her, because she didn't remember.
From what I've read, both of them didn't know that the phone call was being recorded. So I don't know who recorded it, because it never said who recorded the conversation that they had. But
one of them had to have known.
From what I read, they both didn't know. He definitely didn't know, and she didn't know. I don't know how this happened. I don't know. But what I do know is that seeing Nate Parker's response, this was a child. He was a teenager. Now, this is somebody who you say is a teenager or a kid, not Ryan Lochte. And the way he was saying stuff and replying to stuff, like, he knew what he did. He knew what he did, okay? But I guess it was kind of like he didn't really want no child. And she was like, I'm not here for no abortions, but I really want to know what happened. He's like, I'm there for you. I can help you. But it was a child with these responses, and it doesn't make it okay on what happened. Because we all know that, first of all, you're underage, you shouldn't be drinking. Both of them were underage, they both were drinking. She was way more drunk than he was. Even because he admitted that he was drinking, she was drinking, the other guy was drinking, everybody was drinking. Okay? But Nate is saying that I didn't rape you because this was consensual. You knew what was going on, and he was telling her like what was going on. But I don't know. I wasn't there.
Now, did he know what was going on before she got drunk or after she got drunk? Because I mean, when someone's drunk, a lot of times their thinking is impaired. You know, a lot of times they don't know what's happened or what's going on. You know what I mean? Some people who get drunk and have sex, they don't call it rape when they wake up because that's what they get into. Mm-hmm. They like to get drunk, they like to have sex, they like to have a good time, and we never got worried about them yelling rape. Mm-hmm. But then you got other people who get drunk and they don't expect to be having sex with nobody while they're drunk. Mm-hmm. Because once they come to, they're like, whoa, what the hell happened? I wasn't supposed to be having sex with nobody. Now this is my thing. Nate Parker has always said that he didn't rape anybody, that it was consensual sex, which means that sex definitely took place. Mm-hmm. Oh, what's the smell? And I didn't fart.
I don't know.
Nate Parker.
Yes, you did.
No,
bitch.
I didn't.
Yes, you.
Somebody's in there.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Somebody's in that bathroom, bitch.
Yes.
Who's in the bathroom? Bitch, I said that wasn't me.
Yes, you were. No, bitch, that was you.
It wasn't me.
Now get back to this serious stuff.
Okay. Yes, it wasn't me. But anyway.
Yes, you did.
Oh, somebody's stinking. But anyway.
Go ahead, finish what you
I'm trying to think what I was saying. Yeah.
You were saying that he admitted to the consensual sex.
Like Kevin and I were saying, okay? Because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with this particular story. Mm-hmm. Now, Nate Parker was found not guilty. Mm-hmm. Okay? That doesn't mean he's innocent.
That's right.
It just means that he was found not guilty because they weren't enough to hold him, to stick to him. While his friend was found guilty
of rape because she didn't consent to him.
Because she didn't consent to him.
But she didn't consent to Nate, but I guess...
But she didn't consent to Nate either.
I don't know.
That's why I believe
first of all,
that...
a woman cannot consent
to anybody when they're drunk.
To anybody when they're drunk.
Okay.
And men need to understand that.
Yes.
And women need to understand that about men too. Mm-hmm. Because nobody can consent when
you're
not in your right state of mind.
You're not in your right state of mind.
You're not in your right state of mind.
But that's why I say that he was found not guilty, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because according to her, she didn't consent to nobody because she still feels like she was raped. Mm-hmm. She just don't know by who and how many people. So then we have that. Now, the young lady, unfortunately, a few years back committed suicide. And her family was saying that, you know, this particular incident changed her life and it haunted her from the time it happened all the way until she committed suicide. And I think she even had a young child at the time of her death. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's sad. Now, I never knew this about Nate Parker. Never knew any of this. It's now coming about. It came out like a few weeks ago. It came out in the media, and it's interesting because a lot of black people are like, listen, here we go with this gotcha, this gotcha moment, because now this man has a new film that's about to come out in 2 months or a month and a half. He's about to come out with this new film that everybody's been talking about. It's a movie that a lot of people can't wait to see. And now all of a sudden this rape case comes about. And now it's starting to halt people's thought process on whether or not they should even go and support alleged rapist, even though he wasn't found guilty. And guess what? The person that was found guilty is a co-writer of the movie as well. And the person who was found guilty is a co-writer of this particular film. So now this has been brought to light to a lot of people like myself and Kevin, who's never heard the story before. And now Nate Parker, instead of celebrating a new film, he now has to talk about this when he does interviews, because this is now a big topic. It's unfortunate and it's sad that this is how the media works, okay? Because if this is something that happened in the past and this is something that was dealt with and each one of them was dealt with individually, and there's no reason why they should be bringing this
They
up.
want to shame him and not make him look like the goody black guy.
Of course, because I was thinking about it and I said, well, damn, this ain't Nate Parker's first movie. Okay, it's not, but this is his first big movie where he's starring in it. He's what? Directing,
produced everything.
Everything.
$17.5 million he won from the Sundance selling his film, and that was another reason why. Like you can't let a black man win too much without you finding some dirt on him, and that's exactly what happened. Even though I'm not saying he's, he was right or innocent on what happened, but you can see clearly how
the gotcha media,
how it works. And I'm gonna say this: Roman Polanski was charged with having sex with a 13-year-old girl, and he got off. They let 5 of the 6 charges go. He was supposed to do like probation or something like that until allegedly he heard that the judge was going to throw it out and put him in jail for 50 years. He escaped to France and never came back to the United States. Now during this time, this man has been nominated for Oscars and won Oscars. So I don't want, if Nate Parker made a great fucking film, don't let his past be the reason why he doesn't win an award. Because everybody has been raving about this movie. And I'm definitely going to go and I'm going to support this film. I'm not going to just be like, oh, because you did this, I'm going to hold this against you forever. You can't hold things against people forever and ever and ever. Especially if you weren't even a part of that situation. I think it's sad that that woman killed herself.
Now, I will say this. I wouldn't necessarily say you can't hold things against people forever. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking up for Nate and I'm not bashing him at all. Because I agree with you, I wasn't there. But in the case of rape and murder, you can. Because if somebody raped my sister or my mother, I'm going to hold that against you until the day I die.
You didn't even let me finish.
Oh,
but I do feel that forgiveness should be a part. But
yes.
But I wasn't there.
But you raped
and didn't
my
have
sister or my mother, and while forgiveness should be there, you ain't gonna get it no time soon.
You ain't gonna never forget it.
You're not gonna get that no time soon. I may not forgive you until I'm on my deathbed because of the fact that you took something away from my mother and sister that they can't get back. So no, I know that. Somebody that
but it's definitely a serious situation when it comes to rape.
Yes.
Now I'm not saying just move on, but I do believe that if you have been in that situation, that it's best to get help to help you, so that this doesn't haunt you to where you want to kill yourself.
Right. Right. Now I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to be clear on that. But I don't feel like this, now that this has come out, that this should be like the main topic of discussion now when he walks into a room. But it's definitely going to be in his mind. He's never going to forget this. He probably thought this escaped him. I never knew about it, but I just don't want to be like, we wasn't there.
Right.
We weren't there. We weren't there. And the guy, he tried to fight it because he wanted a trial. You know, the guy that was convicted, but she didn't want to testify again. And we can clearly see why. But I did read that her brother said that she was never the same after that.
After that, right? And you don't. And I can't.
And it's on her. It's on her. It's on her death thing. On her death certificate.
What?
On the cause of death.
What?
PTSD due to physical and sexual abuse.
Right.
And then it was, it was just a lot. But I do know that he was young, and that's not an excuse. But stuff like this happens all the time. And also, that's not okay. And what these college campuses need to do is that they really need to have like strict rules on what happens when a woman accuses someone of rape. And I think what they also need to do is let it be known to these guys that, rape is non-tolerance. If she's not sober, don't have sex with her. If she doesn't say yes, do not have sex with her. This is a conversation that men need to have with their sons, and women need to have with their sons as well, before they even step out their house to go to college. It's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. Because when a woman is intoxicated or a man is intoxicated, they cannot consent to anything. And I think we need to keep hammering that home. If she doesn't say yes, that does not mean she consented to having sex with you. Either she didn't say no or she didn't stop you. Still doesn't matter. She did not say yes. Ask, don't take. That's like with money. If I give you money, if you ask me, I'm giving it to you.
Hell me.
But if you take it from me, that does not mean, and I don't say nothing, that doesn't mean that I said it was okay that you took my money. Point blank. That's the only way I can look at it, you know? So ask and get consent before you go there. It's not okay. Anything else you want to say about that? That was just crazy. We've been recording this long ago. We came late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And people been asking me about the wrestling thing before I hang it up. Okay. Before we end this, SummerSlam, it wasn't the best pay-per-view. I feel that John Cena and AJ Styles had the best match, and I want to give John Cena the thumbs up for losing because he is the star that's been there forever, and you gave a new guy who's only been in the company 8 months, you let him defeat you even though he came from a different company. Like, that's just so decent of you to do that. And it's almost time for John Cena to hang his boots up. You've been wrestling in WWE for so long. WWE has never had a top guy in their company that long. It's time for them to move on and do bigger and better things. I think it was wrong that Brock Lesnar elbowed the fuck out of Randy Orton. Like, I don't care. We all know that wrestling, it's scripted. But when you break the script and you take your elbow and you downward elbow somebody in the head 2 times, you could cause brain damage, you can cause concussions. Like, he had a big gaping hole and it was just blood. Oh my God. At first I thought that Randy Orton took a blade and cut himself, because sometimes they do that. They don't do it as often, but they take a blade and cut themselves. He took his elbow and elbowed him twice, and it caused the impact of his elbow hitting his head, broke his skin, and he had to get 10 staples. Now, people saying that, oh, that was supposed, no, bitch, I would not consent to anything like that. Considering how strong, that's a 300-pound man taking his elbowing you, and you think that's okay?
No.
No. Fuck wrong with y'all. Oh, it was a part of the script. No, it wasn't.
I don't know what script that's a part of.
It wasn't a part of no damn script. And I think that match was horrible. It was horrible. Like, when I seen the interview with this guy named Dean Ambrose, when he said that Brock Lesnar was lazy and he didn't want to do anything, I believe it. Because just suplexing people and slamming people today, bitch, you got to do more than that to entertain me. Because that's boring. But anyway, y'all, we're going to get ready to get out of here. We will be back because we have to discuss power. Because now we see some changes going. A lot of good changes. I know you've seen it, right?
I did, but Tommy and Ghost, to me, was very sloppy with that whole Lobos kidnapping. They were very sloppy. It was too much talking, too much walking, and not enough shooting. Okay? Then y'all let this man in handcuffs get away from y'all.
He was going too fast too.
Ha! Yeah, he was. He was right. Be quiet, Mikhail, because then I'm gonna. But he was running fast. Okay, he was running fast. He was, but still, he's in chains. You know, come on now. He's basically be quiet, Mikhail. But yeah, like, it was just too much sloppiness going on between them with this whole Lobos kidnapping. But I will say this, it was good. It was a good episode. And I just kept thinking about how Power was renewed for, 2 more seasons, right? So I'm like, oh. And for those of you out there that keep posting about how you want Angela to be killed off, I'm thinking like, how and why? Because she's the main character. If Angela dies, then who's Ghost gonna be fucking?
Tasha.
We can't have that. We need him bugging somebody else. Over at the criminal justice or whatever the hell she works at.
Yeah. But it's a great storyline, and seeing them all coming together. I don't want to talk about it yet. Yeah, and I gotta watch Power tonight. I mean, not Power, Greenleaf. Yes, because baby.
Also, if anybody's interested, The Scorpion Show trip to Wildwood is this Saturday, August 27th. If you say, oh, you know what, I want to go, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up in my DM, and let me know so we can work out a way so you can pay and have your seat on the bus. We do have seats still available, but we will be in Wildwood, New Jersey this Saturday, August 27th. Now, we're at in Wildwood, we'll be on the beach and all that, but you know Wildwood is a big strip, okay? So, you know, don't ask me exactly where, because once we get off that bus, everybody's doing their thing, okay? So I don't know exactly where, but we will be in Wildwood, New Jersey this Saturday.
And I'll be there this Saturday.
Yes.
I'll be there.
We both will be there.
Yes.
And, we'll talk about this part.
Yeah. So let's go. Thank y'all for watching.